Today, guys, we got the new Ironclad set, so we do need to go over the new snipe filters, man. There's a ton of insane cards in here. Another big drop, 20 players, man, and there's a lot of great filters to get over today, man. So let's get right into them. But first, for the cheapest and most reliable NBA 2k25 MT, hit up NBA2king.com and use code GRINDS to get 5% off your purchase. All right, the first filter we got to get into, man, I'm going to teach you guys the sauce today, bro. Right now, with the auction house being so dry, there's a lot of great filters you can make, man. Right now, you want to put your theme to Ironclad and raise your minimum bid. This is on Xbox. You're going to need to adjust it on PlayStation depending on the price of cards that are up, man. But right now on Xbox, raise your minimum bid to 63,050 MT. Put your minimum buyout to 500, man, and just keep refreshing. Doesn't need to be enabled. Just scroll on this Dave the Busher. You can see any of the pink diamonds, any of the diamonds, which are all pretty expensive, man. I'm expecting to white to be a snipe still for a little bit into today on Friday, which we are about to go on vacation today. We're leaving in a couple hours. So this video is going to be a little bit shorter, and normally I like to wait for the pricings to change before I drop the snipe filters. However, these prices probably will adjust a little bit, so just make sure you're sniping for profit and keep the 10% tax in mind. But anyways, man, you can snipe every pink diamond on this filter, as well as definitely grab Chet if he pops up. And like I said, I think Dwight is going to be a snipe as well. I would 100% pass on CP3. Even if you see Chris Paul selling for over 100K right now, he will not be pretty shortly, I would assume, man. So raise your minimum bid up past so you have just a working scroll, 1 card, 2 card, 3 cards at the most, man. Scroll through them so that way you can see every Ironclad high-end top tier snipe on this same filter, man. Great filter. The next filter we're gonna go over is the Amethyst, cheapest filter, man. This has always gotta be in here. They're still very expensive, man. Set your color to Amethyst, raise your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest Amethyst on your console, which on Xbox are going for about 11,000 MT right now. And I do wanna specifically say, be careful, guys. As you see, Shea is way down in price, Jokic is way down in price. A lot of the Amethysts have dropped in price. Obviously, Giannis is still good to pick up. Curry is still more expensive. Just make sure you know your Amethyst pricing, guys. What I suggest is you scroll on the cheapest Amethyst, grab any of those more expensive Amethysts that pop up, which, like I said, there's a lot less than there was before. There used to be, like, Shea used to be profit on the cheapest Amethyst. D-Book is no longer profit. They're all getting pretty low, so just make sure you know your pricing. If you see any of the cheapest amethysts, grab them for about 8K and below and resell for profit, man. The amethyst price has been pretty steady, so you can kind of shorten up your profit margins per snipe when you know that the pricing aren't going to drop much lower than 10K. So if you snipe for 8, sell it for 10 at a minimum, you're at least making, that's a huge snipe. Let's go. That card is going for 25K. That is a huge snipe, man. Wow, what a good snipe. W for the video, man. Hit that like button for me right there. He's actually going to be coming up on a filter for you guys here in a few minutes, so that's a W snipe, man. So if you see any of the more expensive cards, like for example Luguentz Dort, man, buy him for 10K, sell him for 25, man. Any of the more expensive ones, and then just the cheap ones, like I said, buy them for 8, sell them for 10, you're making 1K profit per snipe, man. The next filter we gotta go over is the diamond cheapest filter, man. I'm still very high on this card, especially with more and more expensive diamonds getting put in the game. I said on this card, I mean on this filter, man. What you want to do is raise your maximum buyout up again till you're scrolling on the cheapest 1 diamond, just like this, man. Snipe any of the more expensive diamonds, which I already went over some of them. Russ, Wilt, we got the new cards that dropped today. If you see CP3 at this very moment on this filter, buy him because he's still technically a bid. So monitor CP3's price. You can grab him for, you know, up to 70K if you see him pop up. Any of the we got the new cards, Chet, obviously, Dwight Howard, man, buy those if they pop up. Otherwise, for these cheapest diamonds, or if you're not sure, just make sure you grab them for about 12,000 MT, cheaper than the cheapest one, man. So I would be grabbing this for about 50, 56K, 55K, man, if they pop up, and then resell for profit, man. W filter, a lot of MT can be made on this filter, man, if you just give it some time. Auction house is turning up a little bit, however, it's still dry, so you got to be patient, man. You got to be patient and don't expect to get a snipe every 2 minutes, man. The next filter that we're gonna go over is the Dikembe Mutumbo filter, man. He just popped up for 8. That's kind of like you could make profit there. He's selling for about 10K low key, man. So what you want to do for this filter is just put your name to Dikembe Mutumbo, and you're gonna raise your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest Dikembe on your console. So like I said, right now he's going for about 10K on Xbox. I went ahead and kind of passed on that one for 8K, just because I'm not gonna be here to monitor his price and sell him and pending and all that, man. His price could fluctuate, but right now going for 10K, man. You want to grab them for about 6,500 and below, just to make sure that you have time for the pending process to happen and you can sell and still sell them for profit, even if he drops like 1,000 MT, man. So that's what I would do on this filter, man. Obviously this is a Ruby card. He's worth 10,000 MT. Most Ruby cards are worth about 1,000 MT. So there should be a lot of snipes on this filter, just like the Sharif filter we dropped before. That was a great filter, man. So make sure you try this out, spend some time on it. You should make a decent amount of coins on here. The next filter we're gonna go over is the Ironclad Diamond filter, man. Like I said, this filter is kind of similar to the one that we put up just a little bit ago about the Ironclad theme, just all by itself. However, on this filter, you can only see the diamonds, but you can see them for any price point, man. So they could pop up for 20K, 30K, 60K. On the other ones, you needed to have your bid raised up so you'd only see cards if they were posted for over 63,000 MT, man. So on this, you want to snipe anybody that pops up except for Chris Paul, man. If he pops up, you only want to grab him if it's like 70,000 MT and below, or depending on what his price changes to, man. If he's going for 90K, you want to grab him for like 65K and below and then resell for profit. Just kind of make sure you know the pricing on this. If later on CP3 becomes a buyout, you want to just scroll on the cheapest CP3, grab him for about 20,000 MT, cheaper than the cheapest one, and then if Dwight or Chet pops up on the scroll you're working, buy it as soon as possible, because I know Chet 100% will be a snipe, and I believe Dwight will be a snipe most of the day today. We'll see what happens. That's just because he doesn't have a 3 ball, but paint is OP this year, so I feel like he's gonna have a little bit of value. Kind of got a little bit out of order here, man, but the next filter we're gonna go over is the Ruby Ironclad filter, man. If you saw, or not saw, but we talked about the freaking Ruby Friday drop filter last week, man. I made a lot of MT on this filter. Huge W filter. There's only 2 cards on it, which kind of stinks. However, it's still going to be active, man, and you have Dave the Butcher and you have Mutumbo on the same filter, obviously. So what you want to do is scroll on the Dave the Butcher card, set your color to Ruby, put your theme to Ironclad, and you're going to raise your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest Dave, which right now, considering there's 3 up, you want to put your buyout 50 MT cheaper than the cheapest one, just because 3 is a bit to scroll through for no reason. So you want to scroll on them so that way if a Mutumbo pops up, you can buy it for any price because he's going for 10,000. And then if you see Dave the Butcher pop up for about 2,500 MT and below, buy him as soon as possible. Again, rubies are usually 1,000 MT, guys, so people are going to pull these and not know that they're a bit more expensive and throw them up for the usual ruby price, man. So work this filter. The next filter we're going to go over is the Power Surge filter, man, with a high bid. This is still a great filter. There's a lot of cards on here. You still have Kareem, who's very expensive. You also have, I mean, all the other pink diamonds on Power Surge. I can't think of them right now. But what you want to do is set your theme to Power Surge. Put your minimum bid up to 100,000 right now on Xbox, probably the same on PS if this filter works on PS. And put your minimum buyout to 500. And you're just going to keep refreshing and scroll through the cards here. If you see any of the more expensive cards like Draymond, like Brandon Roy, assuming he's still a bid price, man. I sniped one yesterday and sold for 125K. And then any of the pink diamonds that pop up, buy them as quick as possible, man. W little filter still. The next filter we're gonna go over is the Luguentz Dort filter, man. The Luguentz Dort filter, like I was talking about earlier. What you want to do is set your name to Luguentz Dort, or you can also just do color Amethyst and put your theme to Ironclad. He's the only Amethyst on here. You want to raise your maximum buyout up until you find the cheapest Luguentz Dort on your console, which on Xbox, like I said, man, he's very expensive, going for 28,500 right now, which already sold. So now that means he's closer to like 30,000, which is a huge dub. We just sniped him for 5,000 MT, man. What I suggest is you scroll, not because there's more expensive cards on here, but just so you can monitor his pricing, so you know what price to buy him for in case, because he's probably going to fluctuate a bit, anywhere from 20 to 30,000 MT. So that's a W. You'll know how much to snipe him for depending on when you see a snipe. So right now at 30k, I would grab him if he pops up for like 22k and below at the maximum, preferably for 20k and below, just to make sure you guys have plenty of room for profit. As you see there, man, if that one for 26 doesn't sell, you're already pretty much losing out on a lot of profit. So that's why I recommend you grab them for 20 and just make sure you have plenty of room for profit. But a huge W filter, man. Most amethysts are going for 11,000, 12,000. So this one's going for 30. This leaves a lot of potential to get a ton of snipes and make a ton of coins. The next filter we're gonna go over is the Diamond Southwest filter, man. You got more diamonds on this filter now with the new drop today, so that makes it even better. What you wanna do is set your color to diamond, put your division to Southwest, and you're gonna put your minimum buyout to 500 MT and just keep refreshing. On this, pretty much everybody is a snipe, man. You do need to monitor a little bit. You got like Sangoon on here, who sometimes goes up to like 200k and sometimes he's pretty mid. You got Dwight, look, he's got a 121k bid. We need to monitor Dwight's price today. I do believe he's gonna remain a bid and a snipe at 100k, but we will find out. Then you also have Russ Westbrook, and I think Wilt is on here as well. I just don't think that there is any of him up at this very moment, but give it a try. W little filter, man. Everybody on here should be profit unless you get pretty unlucky, man. So, and of course, the last filter we need to go over is the pink diamond filter, man. What you want to do is set your color to pink diamond, put your minimum buyout to 500, and just keep refreshing and praying. We now got 3 new pink diamonds in the game, which means we're actually getting our total of pink diamonds that are snipeable pretty darn up there. So hopefully they'll stop popping up soon. I mean, I know the odds on them are absolutely horrendous, but we have, I think, 11 pink diamonds now. If I can remember, we got 3 last week, 3 this week. We dropped with 1, so not 11. We got about 8, I guess. We got 3 last week, 3 this week, and then we had Mullen that dropped on Tuesday, and then the LeBron that was the original. So 8, man, but still, it's getting up there. Spend some time on here if you're looking for high-end snipes and you have some patience, man. Put on a show and just refresh away. If anything pops up, man, buy it as quick as possible. It's tons and tons of profit, man. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Smash the like button for me if you did. If you guys want to see Sniping to a Million MT episode 1 that we dropped last week, man, click the video that's popping up on screen. Jay Grinds out.